My name's Larry Katzman from AIS. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us today to hear about how we've been using Azure Cloud Services for the past 4 years. Today we're going to talk about leveraging cloud technology to do things we could not do without these new services. Things we could not do in the past because they were too expensive, too resource intensive, or just too risky. AIS has been a Microsoft partner since 1994. We're extremely focused on delivering innovative solutions to our clients using usually the latest and greatest technology. To support that, we join every early adoption program Microsoft offers to get ahead of new technology so we can learn how to utilize it and solve our clients' business challenges. We view the cloud as an enabler. After nearly 4 years of R&D through our CTO organization, we've been providing 3 solution offerings to our clients based on Azure. The first is software development and test automation. We have fully automated our processes for application development, including builds, deployments, functional testing, performance testing. The cloud makes this affordable and within reach of any application development project, not just the ones with the big budgets. Second, we can lift and shift our clients' production apps to Azure to take advantage of the elasticity it offers, the reduced data center costs that can be attained through this. And lastly, today's topic, building apps that we just couldn't build before due to constraints like needing too much startup capital or uncertain usage needs. With new technology, AIS's CTO shop creates frameworks that can be applied to many scenarios. The frameworks are detailed working prototypes that our teams can use to start new projects for our clients. We don't have to start from a blank slate and figure out if something can be done with the new technology. We already know it works, and we have a pattern to use to solve business problems. In today's scenario, let's assume we're a law enforcement agency responding to a major crime and we want to collect tips from the public. We want the public name and the URL to be easy to remember, and we don't want to have to wait for IT support to show up and stand up our website. We definitely don't want a public failure, like servers overwhelmed with traffic. Our customers should spend their time in front of the TV cameras focused on the status of the investigation, not the failure of their website. Our framework for using Azure Services includes things like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, big data, and blob storage. They cover this scenario well, and we don't need any IT staff to be able to create a public website that's available in 15 minutes or less. Everything is redundant, highly available, and it scales on demand as needed. There are little startup costs up front, and we can triage the data that's collected using big data tools. In our hypothetical agency, an officer in the command center can fill out a form to quickly stand up our new website. They provide a few details like the name, the desired URL, and perhaps picking a style. In about 10 or 15 minutes, a public website is up and available for the public to submit tips, including text, videos, photos. The public can submit these tips through a traditional web browser, on any screen size, or any device, like a phone or a tablet. On site creation, we can apply custom branding. In this case, we applied the style sheet from the FBI.gov tips website. It's a bit more official looking than what our developers came up with. To show how well this technology scales, we loaded up 25 million tips. We realized how difficult it would be to find the interesting information amongst all the noise. So we added on top of this Azure HD Insight as a big data tool to look at the data so it can be triaged. Microsoft's big data solution on Azure is a cost-effective way to implement big data because you only pay for it while you're using it. We pull the data that we're interested in out of the 25 million records using Excel's BI tools to then analyze it and review it. In this case, we also brought in the publicly available FBI crime data and the census data. This allows investigators to cross-reference the tips and perhaps focus in on tips coming from high crime areas or low crime areas, or however they want to look at the data. There are plenty of great ways to view the data in Excel too. You can use maps, heat maps, and all kinds of interesting ways to view the data right on your desktop. What's crazy about this to me is how little this costs, but how complete the solution is. We use Traffic Manager to route users based on where they are to one of 2 data centers. Tips are stored in blob storage and automatically synchronized to the other data center. We can quickly stand up and tear down a big data server farm to handle Hive queries from our investigators. And then our investigators can use Excel to look at the data, all with no upfront costs. When the need for the site is over, we can simply turn it off, yet it remains ready and available for the next time it's needed. This is a very specific scenario that applies to many law enforcement or disaster response agencies, but the pattern is applicable to many scenarios that call for creating sites on the fly. We have this framework running on both the commercial Azure cloud and the public sector cloud. If you'd like to see it in real time, we'd be happy to demo it for you. Because we adopt new technology, we really try to join every single program we can. In fact, if you look at this list that's on the screen now, we're in about a dozen programs just for Azure, not including SharePoint, CRM, and all the other Microsoft technology we focus on. Beyond just joining these programs, we've actually built things for real clients. Clients like the NFL Players Association and Geico, and public sector clients too, like the state of Texas and the Department of Treasury. We know this works because we've invested the time and energy to learn it, and we've actually been able to deploy it for real customers. If you want to learn more about AIS and how we can put Azure to work for your agency, please contact us or check out our website. Thanks for listening today.